Playing a general MIDI file in the new Sonar. Hey everybody, John here. Now, as we all know, Roland asked Cakewalk to remove the TTS1. So, new users no longer have access to general MIDI playback by default anymore. So first, you're going to need a multi-timbral GM virtual instrument to play the sounds. There are two, and if you own Band-in-a-Box, then you will already have them. Coyote and then VST Synth Font 64. Otherwise, both are pretty easy to get. Coyote is available here at coyotemidi.com. This is a free version here you can download, as well as you can upgrade to the Pro version. And then the second option is the VST Synth Font. This is going to be more future-proof, and it's not very expensive at only 15 euros. You can also try the demo for 15 days. In Sonar, the first thing you should do is go into Preferences, and you're going to want to go to VST Settings and rescan your plugins. The next thing we're going to do is get our MIDI set up properly. Go to MIDI Devices. And what we need to do is make sure that all these boxes are unchecked. The only reason you'd have a box checked here is if you were using hardware. Say I had something plugged into my Motu, then I would select that. But then all of the MIDI tracks will select that as their output. And for what we're going to do, we don't want that. So make sure all these boxes are unchecked, and then you'd click Apply and close. Now there are three ways to load a MIDI file. You can drag and drop, you can import it, or you can open it. Dragging and dropping is identical to importing. They were designed this way to add MIDI to an existing project, so they ignore the tempo map of the MIDI file. I'll demonstrate here. I'm going to open a blank project, and then I need to browse to where I have a MIDI file, and then I just simply grab the MIDI file and I dump it into the project. So you don't get sound when you play it because we haven't added an instrument, as well as take note here, it is playing at 120 beats per minute. Importing a file would result in exactly the same thing. The preferred method is just simply open it. You can go to the File menu, or you can use the Quick Start screen. We're going to start playback. Notice now it's at 144 beats per minute. So when you play it, the meters move because that's just MIDI data. It's not audio. MIDI tracks have no audio. We'll do the drag and drop. Coyote doesn't have multiple outputs. It's just set to simple instrument track, okay? Sounds great. So there is the Coyote. So what we'll do, we'll just go undo, insert that. Let's move on to the VST2 version of the synth font VST. We'll just do it as a single track for now. I was going to show you, if you go to Options and then Output Channels, you can choose to use separate 16 channels. Okay, so I undid that one, and now let's just drag the last one here, the VST3 version, and we'll just go W back. But take note that the GUI is an upgrade in this version here. And they're both included, like you get both versions, VST2 and 3, for your 15 euros. So it's pretty straightforward. Really, these kind of work the same way the TTS1 did, but it's just a different graphic interface. So a few things to remember, though. First, opening a MIDI file will result in no master bus. So you're going to need to go insert stereo bus, then go to the instrument. You only got one thing using that now, and change that to that bus. Now you have a master bus. The other thing that's very important is that right away you need to go here and go save as. If you click save, see it's saving it as a Midi file. So browse to where you keep your projects and change this to a normal project file and then save it. And now that will retain anything you did, like adding the master bus and adding the instrument. Midi files do not save that kind of information. Okay, that's about all I really need to tell you guys, so I'm going to leave it at that. And as always, I really appreciate your support of this channel, so I hope you found it interesting and informative. And as always, thanks for watching.